Main Street, produced by WGBH-TV Boston for the National Educational Television and Radio Center. A view of a typical American community. A view of the slum. This is a typical American neighborhood because it is much like 1/4 of all large communities in our nation. Ancient, crumbling, overcrowded, and degrading. Streets, narrow and ragged, strewn with filth. Ideal, perhaps, for the horse and wagon, but completely inadequate for today's demands. Buildings beyond the age of usefulness and beyond repair. Crowded together, denying sunlight and fresh air. Strangling life. Behind these tired facades is even worse decay and congestion. Conditions such as these create terrible health standards, and where they exist, a city's highest disease rate exists. Babies brought up by this hearth may develop a peculiar view of life, learn suspicion and rebellion. In a neighborhood offering no diversion, they stand and wait, or go searching for their own excitement. Unfortunately, these sights are not new to you. This happens to be Boston, 1960, but it could be New York, London, or San Francisco. Nearly every city and town has its blight area, maiming its appearance, dejecting its people, a constant threat. But finally, the nation is arising to rescue its unhappy main streets. More and more rapidly, every city is moving against the tide of decay. Aging but sound buildings are being renewed. These in a poorer condition are being raised and replaced by new and exciting developments.
But as I understand, they're only making it for the richer people, and they're making it for their benefit. Why don't they make it for our benefit? After all, they've driven people from their houses and their homes and their property. It's really a shame. I mean, the way that they're treating these people from the West End, I can't see it. Now, I think that's a damn shame.
If somebody just going by, looks like a dump maybe, but to us it's home.
The West End, 3,000 families compelled to make room for new high-rent apartment buildings. Here, the fruit of progress is anger, fear, and confusion. The North End, sister area to the West End, but not yet disrupted by redevelopment. The low rents and the proximity of both areas to manufacturing and business centers has attracted thousands of immigrants during the last half-century. In that time, these neighborhoods have developed into secure villages for their inhabitants, containing entire families, age-old friendships, clubs, foreign language churches, ethnic food stores. To them, all these things mean home. Their loss means disaster.
I grew up here, and I know that's just the point. These people love the West End. Why are people surprised at that? You can't measure feeling by the age of the buildings. It's the relationships between neighbors and the makeup of the whole area that means so much.
We got along wonderful. And we had a lot of colors, children went to school, so you never think nothing of it. And they never gave us any trouble, like they say, the colored people, they never. Wonderful. They get along like brothers. In fact, I don't believe in it, but they used to borrow each other's clothes, you know. The boys, to them, it was like their brother. They didn't think, you know, he's colored, I'm white. Jews, Italians, they get along like brothers and sisters. My neighbors where I lived were all Jewish, you know, more, because then years ago, 14 years ago, they were all Jewish in the house, more than Italians. But they'd come up to the house and they loved Italian food, and we'd be together like we were sisters. I mean, we didn't think nothing of it. And then they'd invite us to their bar mitzvahs, and I invited to my kids' christening, just like, I mean, we're never thinking that you're Jew on it. What's the difference? We get along beautiful.
English, Italian, Russian, Canadian, Polish, Irish, Austrian, and a dozen other nationalities. The West End was Boston's melting pot and could teach a lesson about tolerance to many so-called better communities.
Like I say, we had everything here. Irish, Jewish, Russian, German, we all got along beautiful. The children included, which is a very rare thing. Well, right here, they get along, they go, even if they're in school, like they'd have to dance and hold hands, and they wouldn't think nothing of it. Where, you know, you get out of town, they wouldn't do it. I know they won't. We're all equal, in other words. I mean, they were nice, that's all that counted. It's just that, and then, I mean, they have clubs here to go to. They had the PB House, which was up for years. And they had the Blackstone School dances for the kids, and they had with chaperones, and the mothers were there, and the teachers were there. And they had the PB House, the West End House, they still have on Boston Street. And, I mean, a lot of the fathers here, they volunteer their work. Jewish, Italian, all nationalities, 2-3 days a week. They still do. You go to the West End House, and they'll tell you. And they have the children come there and play basketball. And they have guidance, they, you know, trying to... And I guess they keep the kids busy, not to get in trouble. So would you leave a place that you liked and the house was good enough? If I was living in a rat hole, like you say, it'd be different. Say, well, gee, she should get out, you know, for her own sake. But if the house is nice, why should you leave? And if the rent is reasonable, we never had rats, we never had no kind of bugs or nothing.
Even my own sisters were 2 doors away from me, that's all, and now one is here, we're all scattered. And I don't think that's right. And if you call that justice, I don't.
Before, there was all the kind of people that came from me, like my grandmother, all my aunts, were all in one street for years and years, and their children, but now, like I say, everybody moved out.
They went all different places. Every time I go to town, I bump into somebody, they're crying to me. They're telling me that they don't like it, that they, you know, they're sorry they moved out of here and that I'm here and I should stay here.
The kids can't even cry. 18 months old, they evicted her because the kids grew up in the neighborhood. How do you like that? 18-month-old baby that's in bed at 6 at night. I mean, see, we take that here. To us, that's normal. A baby's got to cry. A kid's got to play. You go anywhere, I don't care where you go. If you live 20 years in that building, they don't even, you could drop dead, they wouldn't think, you know, anything of it. Well, no, over here it's altogether different. The police will tell you, anybody will tell you. The workers that have worked here. So it isn't that we're prejudiced, we live here. You know, so well, you have to stay there. I didn't have to live here all my life. I mean, not that it's a fancy place. I mean, I know there's better living than this. But if you're not happy, what good is it? Even the slum, what's the benefit to us? Throwing us out of one slum, putting us in another slum. That's what they want to do. I mean, because they know we can't pay the rent. If your husband makes $60, he can't give you $100. I mean, that's what they should figure. Like the old people, this is their little village. That's all they know. They can't read and write like my father-in-law. He's been here for 48 years, whatever it is, 50 years. And he just knows the North End and West End. And they can't read and write. They can't take streetcars. So everything was convenient. The churches are the old ladies go 7 o'clock in the morning every day. I mean, out of town, the churches are all a distance. I don't care what you say. You can't walk it. Schools. So, and then for poor people like us, honey, over here, see, we go downstairs, and I haven't got the money. I'll give you next week. You can get anything you want in groceries around the corner the same way, the druggists, the doctors. See, for poor people, that's why we live here. It was nice.
We feel like birds, you know, when the birds fly, we don't know mucho van egoístas.
It was their own private village, for this thing. I mean, it's just, this was home, that's all. Could a man 50, 60s will go out and make friends just like that? Over here, see, my father would sit out in front. He had the park right across the street. He don't go to shows. Most times they don't go to shows. They don't go dancing. They work or they come home. They eat. Could they stay home all day? He'd go out and sit in front of the barber shop. All the storekeepers, they've known for years. They'd sit out, even, sit up front with the storekeepers in the barber shop. Anyway, just to, converse a little bit. Even if you just walk around the block, you hi, hello, goodbye. It's a pastime. It's like going to a show for him.
Well, I go in the park. I sit down in the park at night. You see a lot of people, a lot of yap, talking, and the day is gone.
The West End's outdoor swimming pool and the Peabody Settlement House were always busy. Modern schoolhouses and playgrounds were missing, but strong family ties made teenage gangs unnecessary and unknown.
Especially, I found it true that when they know you're from the West End, like you say, they think they're all gangsters here. Whatever they think, I don't know. What gives them that impression?
On April 23, 1958, the residents of the West End were officially informed that they must move.
Move some other place if I wouldn't be happy and contented.
I'd rather go on my own if I was going to go out. Being forced to do anything, it's the same. There's a difference. But my children love it here.
Some were glad they were forced to move. It was something they had been planning to do for years and had put off month after month. But for many, the amount they received for their buildings and the $100 moving allowance created a financial burden for those who could least afford it. Small businesses that could not survive outside of this neighborhood closed, and their owners lost their only source of income. For many old people, the loss of the West End's inexpensive living meant the loss of independence forever.
I keep them clean. I wash them. Steps, iron steps. This if you fall.
But they've been very good to us at the redevelopment. That much here. I mean, they gave us better service than our landlords did.
And I got 3 children, and I mean, I'm on aid. I can't afford just to go in a place and pay high rent. I can't do that. I got to go according to my means. And what I have to pay, of course, people ain't going to take me in.
Because you can't move out of town with $45 a week. It's impossible. The rent here was 15, 20. Where I lived was 25. I had 5 big rooms, not as big as these, but they were nice. The park, the schools, everything was close, the stores, you know, in towns nearby.
You know, they just says we're going to place you. But did they think we're going to be happy, we're going to be fed and everything? They didn't worry about that.
I didn't think America could do it. That's the truth. This is a free country. They say Russia. This is as bad as Russia.
Look at what's that? That's the worst sin that they make. A politician.
Midwinter 1959. All but the most reluctant have gone. Hundreds of buildings remain, standing cold and empty, looking down on a stillness, a silence, new and unfamiliar. "40 acres of skeletons, of stone and steel, lifeless, waiting. Hieroglyphics telling of a culture that died a week ago. But decades of exuberant life have left their mark and linger like an echo.
When my people move out of my house, you know, people cry. They cry like a baby. When you go out outside the door, they kiss the house like this. They cry. You don't believe that. You don't believe it. You got to believe me. If you're going to put it on television, the put it is good. I'm no stupid. I'm smart. And I'm no baby. I'm 72 years old. I know spare to that to throw them out in the street. Like all nice people, beautiful people. All right, some bums all around the world, anyhow. If you got a 50 spoon in the table, one got to be rushed. I believe that. After I make it good, then I take it away from me, bunch of bums.
I feel for the old people, that's all.
Why, I think it was worse than war. So what they did to these poor people, they just driven them out of their homes. Now, when I look around, I don't even know my own street. I don't know. I don't know where I'm at, and I've been a resident here for a long and many years. I've been here that I don't even know now one street from another. They all got to look the same.
I give him $35,000 for one house if they give me that.
I still don't believe it. All of a sudden, they're worried about where we're going, huh? Nobody's doing it for the poor people, remember that. Never, 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 never.
The West End was beautiful West End. They say they're going to do it, they're going to do it, and they do it. If they're going to do it, they're going to do it, that's all. They sign, they get them, and they got them.
It's like Robin, it's like Russia.
I even cried. I could see my daughter's bedroom from the house. I could see. And I had the children look up. It was really a pitiful. It was really a shame. I mean, and those three children really took it in their hearts and everything that they said, Ma, look at the house that we loved coming down.
I've been 50 years in the West. We're all friends. No fight at all, nobody. We know each other, like a brother and sisters. We're going to park us and down and we're talking nice. No fight, no trouble. Good night, good morning. That's all. Everybody minds his own business. So, we're gone now. What are you going to do about it?
What are you going to do about it? Vincent F. Ciampa, United Community Services.
What you have just seen is taking place today in most major American cities. Many families, individuals, and small businessmen are being displaced by urban renewal programs which are needed to revitalize our urban centers. Areas like the old West End of Boston are colorful communities, housing people of many generations, cultures, and religions. Family life is generous with warmth, and community life is rich with vitality. These areas, however, are often substandard and not without their human suffering. Some people will be assisted by urban renewal. Others will be hurt. It is inevitable. For some, what has been home and a way of life for 40, 50, or 60 years will be destroyed. Much has been done to minimize the impact of displacement. More must be done. Urban renewal is vital to the economic and physical future of our cities. The human city of tomorrow, however, must provide a healthy environment for all kinds of Americans, for those who will come to live and for those there now.
This is National Educational Television.